Hi folks, we've got the Samsung M2022 printing merrily away here on one of our refills, and we're going to show you the technique we've used to refill it 11 times up until now and print 12,130 test prints. At some point after you've put a new cartridge in, this toner light will flash, and when it does, ignore it. Further down the road, you'll notice that that light's on constantly in the sense of not blinking. Once again, ignore it and keep ignoring it for as long as you own this printer. So, print on, Macduff, because as with the world's first DIY refill for a Samsung we invented for the ML1210 in 2002, you and we are interested in something that doesn't lie about the cartridge being empty. And now, as then, we call that fade out. It would be reasonable to think that when there's no toner left, the whole page would get grayer uniformly, but it's not like that. On the left hand sheet in the vertical track of column B, you can just see the first sniff of fade out. 6 pages later on, we've got a more apparent effect, but notice it's in the same vertical track as before. So vertical tracks of faded print which intensify and widen as you keep printing. That's fade out, that's the holy grail, and that's when you want to refill. So, have you got fade out? Sure? Okay, time to save $1 per dosh by refilling it. Make sure you protect the green OPC cylinder from anything that could scratch it, and don't expose it to direct sunlight. We're using the orange protector that comes with a bought cartridge. And we're going to unceremoniously melt a hole more or less in the centre of that convex surface towards one end of the cartridge. Melt and pour was invented by U Refill Toner in 1996 when we used to give you an apple corer to melt your hole. It was alternately laughed at, derided, and ultimately copied the world over. Hey ho. How does James Bond like his martinis? Shaken. And it's the same with toner, so give the bottle a good shake, with the top on, of course. And then we're going to get the cartridge vertical, marry up the spout with the cartridge, and lean the cartridge back. And you'll feel the majority of the toner flow in, and you'll probably feel it stop too. Bring the cartridge back to vertical and disengage the lunar module like so, and the toner never always goes in one go, so you're going to have to give that another shake and then repeat that marry up and lean back procedure once more, and you might have to do it a third time too. Like all good dentists, clean up around the orifice. These alcohol swabs are provided with the kit, and you should really let that dry, but just to speed things along we're going to wipe it off with tissue paper. Dentists don't usually do this, or if they do they should be reported, but we're going to slap on one of these patches. You have to cut it to 30mm in fact, but we prepared one earlier. And these are provided with a kit, although they are in fact just duct tape, which can be bought from any hardware store. And you want to press down reasonably hard on all those flat surfaces around the hole. Now, cannot tell a lie, we could have got this hole slightly better because we really need a little bit more space on this side and a little bit less space here. But it really isn't that easy to get it bang on, and it's also not necessary. The key thing is to check that the cartridge isn't leaking after a few hundred copies, and then every now and again be aware that you've done this and keep checking for leaks, especially if you've made a hole that's a bit tight for space on one side. Whereupon, and forsooth, our refilled cartridge started banging out copies as if they were going out of fashion. And this was the result. If we can just compare that to the cartridge as it was printing a few minutes before, with fade out of course. I think if I couldn't see a difference there, I'd be going down to Specsavers, wouldn't I? Quick recap: cock a snook at the stupid light, wait until fade out, melt and pour. Keep ignoring that stupid light forever. We've got laboratory scales in our test lab. Our starter cartridge, that's the one that arrived with the new machine, had 16 grams of toner in it. Our new bought M2070w cartridge had 32 grams of toner in it. The U refill toner refill bottle has 40 grams of toner in it, so we've given you an extra 25%. Now, you've got to be cute about overfilling, because overfilling can cause problems, but U refill toner has consciously checked over multiple refills that you are good to go with our 25% extra. And we did all 11 refills and printed all 12,130 test prints on our M2022 without changing the chip at any time. Why get it wrong when you can get it right? First time, with no brain ache. Our M2020 starter kit has everything you need for your first refill.